The quiet evening at the chapel takes an unexpected turn as Sister Lily's abduction leads to a thrilling rescue. Salim Hapshas, Klaus Lunetz, Mimosa Vermilion, and Yuno have been enjoying a peaceful dinner with Orsi Orphi and Sister Lily Aquaria, sharing stories and updates about their lives. The conversation shifts when Yuno inquires about how much Asta has been sending to the church. The sheer amount shocks him, igniting a fire within Yuno as he pledges to send all of his next paycheck to the chapel to match his childhood rival's generosity. As the dinner winds down, Klaus reminds Salim that they should be heading back. Salim, clearly stalling, asks for more water. Sister Lily volunteers to fetch it, her kind and selfless nature compelling her to assist. Moments later, a scream pierces the night, followed by the shattering sound of a water jar. The group rushes outside, only to find that Sister Lily has been taken. Despite Klaus's insistence that their mission is to protect Salim, Yuno makes a bold decision to disobey and pursue the kidnappers. His resolve is unshakable, his goal singular: bring Sister Lily back. Darting into the forest, Yuno systematically confronts and overpowers the bandits one by one. His precision, speed, and mastery of wind magic prove to be insurmountable obstacles for the abductors. Eventually, Yuno reaches a clearing where Sister Lily is being held hostage by two remaining bandits. Their leader, Abra, steps forward and demands Yuno's grimoire in exchange for her safety, mocking Yuno by claiming he is nothing without it. Unflinching, Yuno refuses, his sharp eyes analyzing the situation. Before Abra can act, Klaus suddenly appears, launching a violent rotating lance spell that catches the bandit off guard. Klaus reveals the shocking truth: the entire abduction was orchestrated by Salim, who had hired the bandits out of spite after being humiliated during the Magic Night exams. Salim's bitterness stemmed from Yuno surpassing him, both in skill and in earning a spot in the Golden Dawn. Together, Klaus, Mimosa, and Yuno subdue the remaining bandits and free Sister Lily. As they prepare to leave, Klaus begins to worry about the whereabouts of the last bandit. To their surprise, Julius Navachrono, the Wizard King, arrives with the missing bandit in tow, disguised and ever playful. Julius praises their efforts, subtly encouraging Yuno's growth and reminding them all of the responsibilities that come with their positions as Magic Knights. Back at Hage, Sister Lily is warmly welcomed home. Meanwhile, Yuno, Klaus, and Mimosa return to the Golden Dawn headquarters, where Captain William Vengeance informs them of their reward, a star from the Wizard King. Klaus beams with pride, but he takes a moment to reprimand Yuno, urging him to avoid reckless solo actions in the future. Yuno, slightly chastised, agrees, though his quiet confidence suggests he has no regrets. At the Black Bull base, Asta hears of the Golden Dawn's new star and vows to catch up to them, his determination fueling his training. Elsewhere, the Wizard King examines reports of a mysterious anomaly, a potential new threat. With his trademark mix of curiosity and anticipation, he decides to assign the investigation to some of the kingdom's finest, setting the stage for a new adventure. At the Black Bull's base, the usual chaos reigns as Asta enthusiastically does push-ups while Magna Swing casually lounges on his back, adding weight to the exercise. The two, along with a few other squad members, are brainstorming names for the tiny bird that seems to have taken a liking to Asta. After some hilariously absurd suggestions, they settle on Nero. The little bird caws in what Asta takes as agreement, further boosting his energy. Their conversation is interrupted by Yami Sukahiro's imposing presence as he strides into the room with his usual nonchalant yet commanding air. He announces that a newly discovered dungeon near the Diamond Kingdom is their next mission. Dungeons, he explains, are ancient tombs filled with mana, relics, and traps. He adds that the Wizard King himself specifically chose Asta for this mission, much to the young mage's surprise and excitement. Yami then orders Noel Silva and Luck Valtia to accompany Asta, despite their protests about working together. Finral Rollercase opens a spatial portal to the dungeon, and the trio steps through, their journey beginning in earnest. As they enter the dungeon, its atmosphere is immediately oppressive, thick with an overwhelming presence of mana. Both Luck and Noel feel it instantly, marveling at its intensity, while Asta, who cannot sense mana, throws a fit in frustration. His tantrum inadvertently activates a trap spell, sending magical projectiles flying toward them. Asta instinctively summons his sword, negating the magic entirely. Luck, ever the thrill-seeker, sees this as an opportunity for fun. He dashes ahead, purposefully activating more traps to test Asta's reaction speed and anti-magic abilities. Asta, though exasperated, rises to the challenge, slashing through every spell that comes their way. As they venture deeper into the dungeon, Luck senses another presence nearby and bolts off to investigate, leaving Noelle and Asta alone. Asta, full of energy and ambition, starts talking about his dream of becoming the Wizard King in his ongoing rivalry with Yuno. Noelle, distracted by his enthusiasm, suddenly becomes aware that they are alone together and quickly charges ahead to avoid any awkwardness. Unfortunately, she activates a trap, and vines ensnare her. Asta leaps into action, slicing through the vines with his sword and freeing her. However, the trap resets, and this time the vines capture both of them. As Asta struggles against the magical bonds, a sudden burst of magic destroys the vines. Both turn toward the source of the attack and see none other than Yuno, standing confidently with his grimoire in hand. Yuno smirks at Asta, his usual calm demeanor masking a hint of satisfaction. "I told you I'd repay my debt," he says, referencing when Asta saved him during the Magic Knight entrance exam. Asta, momentarily stunned, breaks into a wide grin. "Yuno. So, you're here too. Let's see who can clear this dungeon first." Klaus Lunetz reprimands Yuno for aiding Asta and Noelle Silva, arguing that their mission is to explore and secure the dungeon, not assist other squads. When Mimosa Vermilion greets Noelle with a cheerful but subtly condescending tone, asking about her progress in magic. This prompts Noelle to view Mimosa as just as rude as ever. When Mimosa boasts about her squad earning a star, Asta proudly announces that his squad has earned one too. Klaus, skeptical of their achievement, dismisses their claim and questions their capabilities, particularly the absence of Luck Valtia, their third member. Klaus's criticism ignites Asta's fiery resolve, leading to a heated argument over their respective captains' merits. Despite the clash, the squads race deeper into the dungeon. Mimosa uses her magic to reveal the dungeon's layout, impressing everyone with her precision. Yuno, ever the confident prodigy, takes the lead, carrying his group with wind magic, while Asta and Noelle chase after them. Both Asta and Yuno are driven by an unspoken competition to reach the treasure chamber first, each determined to prove their superiority. Nero, Asta's enigmatic bird companion, guides them through the maze-like corridors. As the Clover Kingdom mages delve deeper, a messenger delivers troubling news to the Wizard King, Julius Navachrono. A squad from the Diamond Kingdom, led by the cunning and experienced mage Lotus Humalt, has also entered the dungeon. However, Julius remains calm, confident in the strength of the young knights he has sent on this mission. Elsewhere in the dungeon, Luck Valtia confronts Lotus's subordinates, quickly defeating them with his relentless lightning magic. His thirst for battle drives him to seek out Lotus himself. During their clash, Lotus reveals the dire state of the Diamond Kingdom, explaining their invasion as a desperate attempt to secure resources. Yet Luck, consumed by his obsession with fighting, shows no interest in Lotus's reasoning. As their battle intensifies, Lotus employs his strategic cunning, filling the room with his magic, subtly weakening Luck without the young mage realizing. Luck begins to feel the effects of the spell, his movements slowing, but his unyielding spirit refuses to falter. Meanwhile, the Golden Dawn squad reaches a massive set of ornate doors, signaling the potential location of the treasure chamber. However, danger strikes as Mimosa is suddenly hit by a spell and collapses, injured by a hidden Diamond Kingdom mage. Klaus, Yuno, and Mimosa brace themselves for an ambush. The story opens with Luck Valtia as a young boy, his ever-present smile a source of discomfort for those around him. His cheerful demeanor, rather than endearing, feels unsettling to his peers, and his mother resents him for reasons she never explains. One day, everything changes when Luck discovers his lightning magic. The first time he unleashes it is against a noble boy who tries to humiliate him. With a single devastating attack, Luck defeats him, earning fear and a grudging respect from others. But at home, his mother's reaction is far from pride. Instead, she reinforces a cruel lesson: no one in this world will help you. You have to win. Keep winning, or you'll have nothing. Her words stay with Luck, driving him into a cycle of seeking strength and validation through battle. Years later, during a mission with the Black Bulls, Luck faces Lotus Humalt, a cunning mage from the Diamond Kingdom. As the two clash, Lotus quickly realizes that Luck's fighting style, though powerful, is chaotic and single-minded. Exploiting this, he uses his solid smoke binding spell to trap Luck, immobilizing him. Lotus taunts him, speaking of the futility of raw power without strategy. But Luck, undeterred, struggles against the bindings, refusing to give up. Elsewhere, Mimosa Vermilion uses her magic to heal herself after an earlier encounter, while Klaus Lunetz and Yuno face off against Mars, another mage from the Diamond Kingdom. Mars's power overwhelms the two, and Klaus orders Yuno to prioritize reaching the treasure chamber. Noel Silva and Asta, meanwhile, sense the energy of Luck's magic growing erratic. Asta, eager to help, suggests they go back, but Noel hesitates. Luck lives for fighting, she argues. If we interfere, we might distract him. We should focus on the treasure chamber. Asta, though reluctant, agrees, trusting her judgment. Back in the battle, Luck's desperation grows as Lotus tightens the smoky prison around him. But just as Lotus prepares to deliver a decisive blow, Asta bursts onto the scene, slicing through the binding spell with his anti-magic sword. Free at last, Luck snaps at Asta, insisting he doesn't need anyone's help. I can handle this alone, he yells, his lightning crackling dangerously around him. Asta stands firm. Maybe you can handle it alone, he says, but you don't have to. We're a team, Luck. For a moment, Luck falters. The concept of teamwork feels foreign to him, yet something about Asta's conviction stirs a forgotten part of him. Lotus, however, isn't giving them time to bond. He summons a degenerate king's smoke prison, enveloping the area in thick, suffocating smoke. This time, instead of recklessly charging ahead, Luck strategizes. Using his lightning, he herds Lotus into a narrow space, creating an opening for Asta to strike with his sword. The plan works, and Lotus is forced to retreat, though he promises they haven't seen the last of him. As the smoke clears, Luck looks at Asta and Noel, realization dawning. For the first time, he understands that he's not alone, that his squad mates aren't just comrades but friends willing to fight by his side. Meanwhile, Yuno defies Klaus's earlier orders and returns to help him against Mars. When Klaus asks why he came back, Yuno replies simply, because we're in this together. Lotus Humalt, who had been a key target, tries to escape the chaos. Asta, Noel Silva, and Luck Valtia immediately give chase, determined to prevent his getaway. Despite their efforts, Lotus manages to flee, but he remains calm, convinced that Mars, the formidable mage of the Diamond Kingdom, will be able to handle the situation from here on out. As the battle progresses, Klaus Lunetz, ever the tactical thinker, takes notice of the peculiar mage stones embedded into Mars's forehead. These stones are not mere accessories, they amplify Mars's magical abilities. Klaus realizes with dread that the Diamond Kingdom has been embedding magical objects into people's bodies in order to artificially enhance their power. Klaus, unwilling to let Mars gain any more of an advantage, charges at him, but Mars quickly counters by summoning a Talos puppet to block Klaus's attack. The situation escalates, and Mars's magical prowess becomes even more evident. Meanwhile, Yuno faces off against Mars directly. Despite using his impressive wind magic and all the force he can muster, Mars seems impervious to Yuno's attacks. Mars confidently declares that Yuno's magic is completely ineffective against him and that it is futile for him to continue fighting. Mars attempts to crush Yuno with his massive weapon, the Levitine, but just as it is about to land, Asta arrives, leaping in with his anti-magic sword to cut the weapon clean in half. Asta's timely arrival surprises everyone, and he immediately challenges Yuno to see who can defeat Mars first, sparking the rivalry between the two friends once again. Klaus, still reeling from the fact that Asta was able to save Yuno when magic appeared useless against Mars's powerful attacks, can hardly believe his eyes. He struggles to accept that Asta, a boy born without any magical power, managed to be the one to rescue Yuno in such a critical moment. His disbelief only deepens as he watches Asta continue to defy the odds. Meanwhile, Mars, far from being intimidated, begins to generate mineral clones of himself, each just as powerful as the original. These clones swarm the battlefield, forcing Asta to fight with all his might. Asta's anti-magic sword proves effective as he slashes through the clones, sending Mars flying across the room. Luck, ever the electrifying presence in battle, begins zipping around, destroying the remaining clones with ease, each strike sending sparks flying. Klaus, still in shock, can't wrap his head around how someone without magic, someone who should be powerless in the face of such opponents, can be so strong. Noel, seeing Klaus's confusion, explains to him that Asta's power isn't about having magic, his anti-magic sword nullifies any magic it comes into contact with. Klaus's disbelief grows even more intense as he watches the spectacle unfold before him. He wonders if Asta simply got lucky, but Noel's calm explanation shows the depth of Asta's abilities. His power is no accident. It's a force all its own. The battle takes a turn when Mars returns with his heavy armored titan, a formidable construct designed to squash Asta under its massive weight. Mars, now completely unrestrained, demands to know who Asta truly is. Asta responds with quiet confidence, declaring that he was born without magic, but he is determined to become the Wizard King. He then launches himself into the air, breaking through the heavy armored titan with a powerful strike from his anti-magic sword. The immense force sends Mars plummeting to the ground, unable to maintain his formidable armored form. The treasury of the dungeon sparkled like a dragon's hoard, and Klaus Lunetz was trying very hard to maintain his composure as he adjusted his glasses for the 15th time in 10 minutes. Finally, he huffed, staring down at the thoroughly restrained and defeated Mars. That brute is under control. Now, can we act like civilized people and explore this treasury properly? Asta, standing nearby with his ever-present grin, hefted his sword onto his shoulder. Yeah. Time to grab some cool loot. Without waiting for Klaus to finish his complaints, Asta took a mighty swing at the door barring their way. The anti-magic sword obliterated the lock in a single blow. Klaus jumped back, aghast. Do you have any respect for ancient architecture? This door is probably older than your brain cells combined. Doesn't matter. Asta hollered, charging into the room. I'm here to find something awesome. Inside, the treasury looked like it had been curated by a wizard with way too much time and glitter. Yuno, ever the stoic, approached a pedestal holding a glowing scroll. This looks weird, he murmured, picking it up with the delicacy of someone handling a baby burning. The glowing symbols on the scroll disappeared. Yuno blinked. It's gone. Mimosa leaned closer. Did you break it? I don't break things, Yuno said, looking pointedly at Asta, who was poking a suspicious-looking lock on the wall with his sword. Meanwhile, Nero flew in, chirping and pecking at Asta to get his attention. What? You want me to, punch the wall? Kick it? Come on, Nero, give me a sign here. Asta said, staring at the lock like it was a complex math problem. But before anyone could solve the mystery of Nero's frantic behavior, a deafening crash echoed through the treasury. Mars had freed himself, and he was mad. His heavy armored titan gleamed ominously, and now, for extra sparkle, he was sporting a phoenix feathers robe that looked like it belonged at a wizard fashion show.